Welcome to the Tumbleweed Podcast, where we discuss an eclectic range of topics, including business, design, Texas culture, and everything in between.
We're two teachers that turned a side hustle into a nationally known apparel brand, and now we work with some of the biggest names in Texas. We strive to never stop exploring and continue to draw inspiration from our adventures.
So drift and explore or raise a glass. We're always ready to hang out and talk about the things that we love. So come roll with us as we drift and explore.
Hey y'all, it's Jeb Matulich with Tumbleweed Textiles, and welcome to the Tumbleweed Podcast. What's up, Brian?
What's up? Not a lot, just about to do this podcast.
Yeah, beautiful day in Frisco, Texas. Nice and sunny outside. Good summer vibes going on, so yeah.
What are we going to be talking about today? I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can just wing it, I guess, right?
So you just got back from some traveling. Colorado, I believe.
Yes, we were in Colorado in June. So the middle of June, we were in Colorado. It's a trip that we take every year. Been going there with my family. Probably the first time we went to this location was about 1980.
Wow.
So that probably before you were born. But
yeah,
it was good times. We did some fishing, did some hiking, a lot of family time because where we stay, there are no cell phone service towers anywhere near. There's no internet, any of that kind of stuff. So we're like in a cabin that, has all the comforts of home. Sinks and kitchen and fridge and shower and, toilets and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's pretty primitive.
Nice.
But yeah, we've been going there for quite a while. We had a great time. It was just nice to kind of unplug and get away. It's near the town of Creed, Colorado, so I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's near the headwaters of the Rio Grande. So that's obviously where the Rio Grande begins. And boy, it was flowing this year.
Really?
They had all that snow in the Rockies this year. So all the streams, all the creeks, all the rivers were totally maxed out. And it's only going to get, it's probably still flowing pretty hard
That's cool.
This whole year. So
yeah. I know your son is older now, and did he go with you, or is he hopped out, no longer doing these family trips?
He didn't make it this time. He didn't go last year with us either.
Man.
He's staying home and working. He needs to make that money.
Okay.
Because he's off at college, so he wanted to stay home and work and make some money because a lot of the money that he makes during the summer is what kind of gets him through the school year and helps avoid those late night texts from him, asking me to transfer money to his account. So if we can minimize those, more of those, the better. So
what, he's at Texas Tech.
He is.
What's has he shared any of his fun? I just remember looking back. I remember my freshman, sophomore years. Very vividly, some of my favorite memories.
Right.
For me, is by far is when Texas Tech played UT. Mm-hmm. And we beat them. It was awesome. Cliff Kingsbury was our quarterback, and I just remember him running around with the horns down. I know you Horn fans won't like that, but I sure did. And people were jumping on the stadium benches, and the bleachers fell apart, and they started lifting them up, passing the bleachers up the stands.
Yeah,
just a memorable moment running onto that field. So, what about him? Has he shared kind of his favorite moments of? As long as they're PC, I know. But
it's funny that you mentioned that game because my son was born, I guess, about, what was it? He was born right before that game.
Really?
He was, just a few days. And so I had video recorded that tape or taped that game on a VHS tape. I taped the game. And so the week, that we brought him home, that's one of the things that I would do. I'd punch that game in and rewatch it late at night with him laying on my chest while my wife could get some sleep. And I would watch that game. That was a great game.
Oh, yeah. I think that's where, of course I went to Tech because I went to school there. I honestly have no idea how God got me to Texas Tech, but that was the game that brought an immense amount of Texas Tech pride. Just seeing the excitement of the people. It was just nothing like college football.
Oh, yeah, that was a big one. But as far as my son and what he's got going on at Tech. He joined a fraternity, so he does a lot of stuff with those guys, and it's good for him, I think, because he's gotten to kind of get out of his shell a little bit, meet a lot of new people from all over the state. Of course, they do a lot of good like charity stuff. That there'll be times where they go out and help clean up stuff or do raise money for charity. So I think that's been really good for him. Of course, he loves basketball and intramurals and things, and so one big moment I know for him this year was that they actually won the Sigma Chi's, which is what he is. They won the intramural like basketball championship for the fraternities. So
and he's tall, so he was probably one of the players.
And he's excited. He said that everybody's coming back next year, the whole team. Okay. No one graduated, so I think they're a young squad. So he's looking forward to doing that. So I think that's what he does. He works out in the morning and he goes to his classes and plays a lot of basketball, and he's making good grades. So that's that's good for him. And so, but I think he's having a good time up there. He's got quite a few friends that he's made, and like I said, he's at home now, making money so he can spend it or whatever.
Go out to the strip.
Well, they don't have that anymore, so that's a whole different ball game. And he's not 21 yet anyway. Okay. He will be soon, though. But
yeah. Well, he's I'm sure when he does, will you go up there and hang out with him for his birthday?
We'll see. Well, I think his birthday is actually going to be on Thanksgiving, so he'll be home with us.
That's cool.
But it does give us a reason to go up there more often. We're able to get up there for like Parents Weekend and things, and my wife went up there for the fraternity Moms Weekend. So it's just fun to reconnect with the school, and I've got a lot of friends that have their kids going up there too. So it's just been a fun experience.
Well, I was buying some product for our store yesterday. And one is these coasters made by a company down in Austin. Mm-hmm. And I bought, basically I was getting some coasters for different regions that make sense for our company, New Braunfels, Greenhall, Austin, Fort Worth, Frisco.
Yeah.
But I saw one that said made in Lubbock.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got one of those because I know you were born in Lubbock, right?
I was.
So I thought of you for that,
Yeah, made in Lubbock. I definitely was.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So, yeah, I'm sure anything Lubbock, there's plenty of Red Raiders up here in Frisco. That little coaster item I'm sure will sell.
We'll find out. If not, it'll be at my house. That's okay.
Or it could be at mine. Who knows?
So going back to Colorado, so Hillary and I, my wife and I are heading out there next week.
Okay.
And normally we stop in Lubbock and go walk the campus. It's a way for us to show off the campus to our kids.
Yeah.
Even though they could care less.
Right.
But we're going to drive all the way through this time.
Nice.
And so we're going to go the route up through Amarillo, up through New Mexico, into Colorado. And I know you've taken that trip way more times than I have. What's your recommendations of go-to spots along that way?
Oh, boy. Well, we usually drive when we go. My brother lives in Hereford, and so we'll drive to Hereford. We'll leave in the afternoon. I think this year we left at 1, and we drove to Hereford. We were there by 7 o'clock at night or something. And then we spend the night there, and then we head on up the next day. But on the way back, kind of like what you do, we drive it all the way. We get up there, and we leave our cabin like at 6 in the morning, and then we don't get home till like 8 at night. So it's a full day of driving. And we're not looking to stop many places. I'm just like, it's my inner truck driver, man. I just like, all right, let's go. My wife, Carrie, she'll be sleeping or watching a show. Meredith will be in the back, laid out, sleeping, and I'm just going. So, but they both like coffees and Starbucks and stuff. So we usually end up stopping at like the first major town that has a coffee, and they get that. But then they got to go to the bathroom and stuff, so that slows us down. But it's not a bad trip. The thing about that trip is kind of I guess I'm talking about going back from Colorado to the Dallas area, is when you think, you're like, okay, you get to Texas, and it's, it takes 4 or 5 hours to get to Texas, and then you're like, okay, we're making ground, here we go. And then you get to Amarillo, and you're like, okay, well, now we're getting really close. But then you see that sign outside of Amarillo, and it's like, Fort Worth, 384 miles. And you're like, this is going to take a while.
But isn't it fun seeing that when you're going along the way, you start seeing 300, 250?
Yeah,
I love that.
It's good to knock those miles down, but it's a good little trip. I mean, there's a lot of little places you can stop and see, because you'll go through Wichita Falls. And one thing we did on the way back is we ate in Wichita Falls at Chick-fil-A before we got back. But I'd never been to the campus of Midwestern University.
Okay.
And it's I was super impressed with how pretty the campus was. The buildings, it reminded me of Texas Tech in a way that I think they had like red tile roofs and like really nice, like kind of older brick. It's just a beautiful, and the houses, I had no idea that there were such pretty houses in Wichita Falls. They were all around the campus. It was a beautiful neighborhood. But that's because when you drive through the other part of Wichita Falls on the interstate, you don't see really anything. But that was nice. Of course, Amarillo's fun. If you had time to stop at the Big Texan Steakhouse or something. That's such a tourist trap. The drive from Amarillo up to Dalhart is, it's pretty in its own right. You kind of go over these kind of like mesas and up and down. There's a lot of windmills, that pretty red dirt, that kind of stuff. That's fun. But my least favorite part of the drive is from like Tex Line or Clayton, New Mexico, to Raton. Mm-hmm. It's that 83 miles of whatever the safety first corridor or something. You go by Capulon, the volcano. It's just really desolate out there, and you see some antelope running around every once in a while. But that's once I get through that little stretch, I feel like I'm making ground because I'm either in Colorado or I'm in Texas.
Right.
It's that one little strip in New Mexico, that little corner.
And make sure, I know for us, we were driving through that in the middle of the night. Right. You see the animals. I just want to make sure they're not running across the road.
Oh yeah.
And so we're going to try to stop every 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Just because I have a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and my daughter with her special needs stuff.
Right.
She can't be for seizure. She's seizure prone, so we can't drive too long.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find. I've kind of already. We got every 2 to 3 hours. Like I've already planned it out.
There you go.
Cadillac Ranch is a possibility of checking out.
Cadillac Ranch. That might be a little bit out of the way, but there's a way you can go that way. You could go by Cadillac Ranch, and then you could get on, I can't remember the highway, but they're at Vega, and then go north through Boys Ranch and stuff, which is also another pretty drive. That's kind of an interesting little area too. But yeah, it's a fun little drive, and like I said, like you said too, I've made it quite a few times. On the way back, I'm just like pedal to the metal. Let's go. I'm ready to get home. On the way up there, it's a little bit different.
I see you sporting that Evan Mays hat.
I
just saw that they did this barbecue list of like the best barbecue places to try. Like, I think in the country.
Yeah, New York Times.
Yeah, and they made the list.
They did. There were a couple other Texas places that made the list, but I think it's funny that New York is coming up with like a list of.
Yeah.
Well, they had. I guess it was a whole article. I guess it was all about Texas barbecue.
Right.
So it wasn't about a list of country. It was all about the Texas barbecue. So yeah. So they had their own little. I think they only did like 20 or something, 20, 25. So
they had. Of course, you wearing the hat right now. Lubbock. That's where we wanted to stop. Originally, we were going to stay in Lubbock, go eat there, hit up one of the new Frisco or Lubbock breweries, and make it a good fun time. But of course, now we're driving straight through.
I was going to say you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, not now, but also on that list was Goldie's.
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, they were number 1 in Texas Monthly.
Yeah. Panthers was Panther City on there.
I'm not sure.
But definitely Goldie's and was Hutchins.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But it should have been. But yeah. So.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a good. What are y'all gonna do up there in Denver?
We got men drinking coffee. See family. Hillary's sister lives there, and her husband Daniel.
Nice.
Probably go to some local brew pub that's by their house. They live near the Red Rocks area.
Oh, nice.
So that beautiful area. Definitely go and go hiking somewhere that's easy with 3 kids. You can push a stroller through. But
stroller hike.
Yeah. But probably do that, hiking, hanging out. I'm hoping Daniel's a kind of a backyard farmer.
Okay.
So one thing we always look forward to is eating really good food that's from their garden.
Oh, wow.
Just like good, fresh food. But really for us, I'm hoping just to not work and just hang out with good, family and have a good time.
Yeah, that's good. And you say that, like, my wife, Carrie, her sister lives in Castle Rock, which is just south of Denver. But you were talking about backyard farming and stuff. Like, they have like the best garden. Yeah. I think it's just they have different growing seasons, obviously in Colorado, but there's just something about the weather and like it's like usually midsummer. Here in Texas, everything in the garden's already dead.
Yeah.
But you get up to Colorado in July, like their stuff is just now starting to come around, and so like they had like fresh strawberries and like always like really nice onions and cucumber. It's such a good. I don't know, the food up there.
Well, Well, Daniel, my brother-in-law, it's funny because go back when I worked at Trinity Church, he was actually the youth director. I was the college director. Mm-hmm. And then when I graduated and moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, he took over the college director position. So it's funny that the two sisters both married the college directors there at Trinity Church. But he's the one that's up there in Denver, and he's a pastor at a church there. But he's also now starting to create his own brand, kind of backyard farming. And he's doing education videos on how to do it. And because he grew up in Lubbock, and his family is a farming family.
Right.
And so he's having an immense amount of success in Denver growing, fruits and vegetables and, putting them on Facebook Marketplace, I believe, and selling them, to people all around to come and pick up, so, whatever he grows. And so I'm hoping we can also go out there and help him kind of craft his business plan and figure that out, because he's had crazy amount of success doing the backyard gardening and all that.
Is it truly in his backyard, or do they have some land where they're doing this?
For him, it's his family has land in Lubbock.
Okay.
His brother is a cotton farmer.
Okay.
But yeah, for him, Daniel specifically, it's all in his backyard.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so it's pretty crazy because he built everything from the ground up. They took a house that when they sent us pictures when they were buying the house, we're like, oh my goodness, what's that? And then we went and visited, and they've done so many updates on the house and the backyard. It's a beautiful spot there in the Red Rocks area.
Yeah, well, that would be fun.
Yeah. Now, what do you got coming up? So I know you always take one big trip at the beginning of the summer, another big trip at the end of the summer. I believe it's Florida.
Right. So yeah, we kind of follow the same schedule each summer. Last summer was a little bit different because we threw a couple other things in there just because of some 50th birthdays that rolled around. We're going to be heading to, we went to New Braunfels, I guess 2 weeks ago, which is we go see my folks. They still live down there. So, but this time around, my daughter, she'll be a junior in high school here in Frisco. She brought two of her best friends, and then their parents, so like their families came too. Wow. So they rented out condos and stuff down there, and of course we stayed at my parents' house.
They might be listening and don't say anything bad.
Right. So no, but we had a great time. It was a good fun group, and so we were able to go down there and float the river. And some of the folks that we went with, they'd never floated before, so we floated the Comal, and they loved it so much we just did it the next day too.
That's cool.
It was a fun little getaway, and then of course Carrie had to work some, and then they had to some of them had to come back a little bit early, but we were able to just kind of hang out and unwind a little bit there, and it was good. We saw John Bauman play.
That's cool.
So that was fun. Met one of my college buddies. Him and his wife, and we went out there and we watched.
Did your the friends that went down with y'all from Frisco, did they get to see John Bauman play?
No, they had already left.
Okay.
They had to go back like Friday morning,
okay.
And so John didn't play till Saturday. I was kind of at a crossroads when I was looking to see who was playing down in New Braunfels, because Mike and the Moon Pies were playing at Green Hall.
Really?
And then John Bauman was playing at River Road Ice House the same night. I'm like, dude.
I'm surprised he gave up Mike and the Moon Pies.
Well, I know, but it was sold out, so that made my decision a lot easier because John's my boy, so I had to go check him out, and he put on a great show. He's really become a good little entertainer. His show has gotten a lot.
Telling his little stories.
Yeah, it's fun. He's just a fun guy to watch and all that kind of stuff. And I told him after the show, I'm like, dude, you and Mike, y'all need to somehow figure this out. Where if y'all are both at New Braunfels, y'all need to be on the same. Same ticket there. And he's like, yeah, I know. So, anyway, that was fun though to see them. And then, we are heading to Florida, probably in about, I guess it'll be a week and a half or so. So we usually go down to Santa Rosa Beach. We go with my in-laws and then my wife's sister and her family. And so it's just a good little getaway right before, because when we come back, like we start school, like I think we have to be back on that Tuesday, and we get back Saturday night really late, so I'll have 2 days in between. So the summer is slowly slipping away. Yeah. But yeah, the beach trip's always fun. Those of you that have ever been down to the Destin area, or like where we kind of go a little bit further to the east, Santa Rosa Beach there, 30A is kind of near Seaside and all that stuff. It's I I just call it La La Land.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's a real place.
Well, it's crazy how many people from Texas and this, Collin County, Denton County area, that's where they travel every year.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go look for Tupps Brewery. Actually makes 30A seltzers.
Oh, okay.
So
I remember you saying
straight
that.
from McKinney all the way over there in Destin.
Yeah, there's a lot of seltzers being drank by people down there. That's for sure. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little family getaway, and we kind of have our routines. My wife likes to lay on the beach a lot and read and nap and get in the water. We kind of have our routines, and I can only do the beach so long. I'll go every day and start down there, but there's some days I have to go explore.
Yeah.
I like to get out and.
Well, when we went as a family, you recommended a seafood restaurant down there, and it was awesome. What was it called?
We go to Stinky's Fish Camp.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's so good.
It's so good. The seafood platter was awesome.
Yeah, they have like the Taste of Stinky's platter, and it's like $35 or something, but it's truly one of the best meals I've ever had. And I get it. I get it. My son gets it. My father-in-law gets it. It's just what we get. It's just really good.
Well, this Friday, big day for me. I'm turning 40.
Dang, son.
On the 14th.
It's about time.
I know.
Jeez.
I'm aged like I feel like I'm 50.
Yeah.
But I'm a 40-year-old in a 50-year-old body.
Okay.
But yeah, we're not doing anything exciting. I mean, we're leaving this weekend, go to Colorado, but
right.
We're going to meet some friends. There's a Lion Pub. I can't remember. There's a place in the Colony.
Okay.
That they're doing like a wine night.
Right.
And so they have a different four or five course meal with wines
fun.
In between.
Yeah.
And actually, it's our good friend's, his birthday's on the same day as mine.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So we're going to give that, just Hillary and I, and them will do
Yeah.
that and do some wine tasting.
There you go.
Eat some steak and
That'll be fun.
something we've never done before.
Right.
But besides that,
Big 40. I don't know if you remember, like, just right after we started the company, I turned 40.
I remember that. That's when you took me to your beer fridge. I'm like, what is all this craft beer? That was like the introduction into craft beer for me.
Well, I don't remember my party having that much because we had so many people over. I think we were drinking the cheap stuff, a lot of Dos Equis or something.
Well, you took me to your garage and you popped open like a really good one. I think some good beer.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, that beer fridge has been. It's no longer with us anymore. It's been scaled considerably down. I just have one of those little mini fridges in my, because I used to have a full-size fridge in there, but now I just have a mini fridge.
It's not about quantity, it's about the quality.
It's true. That's true. But yeah, that's great. 40 years old. About 40, time. Join the club. I've already passed that. I did 51 last week, so yeah, I'm on the.
You're truly over the hill now.
Oh, there's no doubt. But I will say this about being 40. I do remember 40 very vividly, and I remember telling Carrie this too. And it wasn't until after I turned like 41 or 42, I was like, when I was 40, that was like I felt like one of my better. Like I felt good physically, kind of like I felt like alert and like I felt pretty. I thought 40 was a good year for me, at least. I thought
that's kind of scary to me because I'm not feeling good right now.
Well, you never know. It can.
41's my year.
41, I kind of started getting some little aches and kind of feeling a little bit creaky and stuff. But 40 was good though. So you have something good to look forward to.
We'll find out.
We'll see.
So,
but that's exciting. That's good. But yeah, so I haven't told you this, but. We're talking about Colorado. I'm going to make another little road trip in September.
Okay.
I just decided what the heck, So I'm going to drive up to the Texas Tech football opener.
Okay.
It's in Wyoming.
Wow.
So I'll be making that Colorado drive again. I decided I'm going to drive. I thought about flying, but then I'm like, by the time I fly and then rent a car and all that kind of stuff, it's just going to be, I can do it cheaper, and I don't like road trips.
Yeah.
So yeah, the plan is to drive to Trinidad, Colorado, which is just right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave at lunch, I think, during one of our school days, whatever that Friday is. Drive to Trinidad, and then go meet a friend in Denver the next morning. So I'll wake up on game day, wake up early, like at 7, and get to Denver by 10. Meet up with him, and then we're going to drive up. Me and his family are going to drive up to Wyoming, which is actually just another 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So it's
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it'll be close. So we're going to do that. I got a room in Laramie, Wyoming on that Saturday night after game night.
Yeah.
So hopefully things end up well.
Is Carrie going or just you?
She's not.
Okay.
It's a solo road trip. But so I'm going to do that. And then after the game, that'll be that Sunday, I guess. And then it'll be Labor Day the next day.
Cool.
I'm just going to kind of bum around in Denver, stay with Carrie's sister and stuff. But hang out in Denver for a few days. And then I'm just going to head down Thursday and go to Lubbock.
Okay.
Because I've got tickets to the Oregon game, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you said you'll be there for a full week?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a week off.
Okay, a week off. Okay. Man.
So I'm just going to drive up to Wyoming, watch the Tech game, and then piddle around in Denver for a few days, and then head down to Lubbock on Thursday. And man. And then I got some friends coming in, so we'll watch the Oregon. So I'm going to knock out 2 Tech games in 1 week.
Living the dream.
I know, man. I saw the schedule. I'm like, when else would I get to do this?
Yeah, taste of that retired life.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's what I'm gonna do that. And Carrie was supportive. She's like, shoot, yeah, go. That'd be fun.
She's like, get you out of the house.
Yeah, probably.
The kids aren't there anymore, so
I know, right? So
I'm taking a little adventure myself. Going into September, August, September.
Okay.
I'm a board member with the Frisco Chamber, and so they're doing a leadership trip to Fort Collins. And it's to study kind of the infrastructure in downtown of Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going for really 2 reasons: to study the craft beer scene.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And it's Tony Felker, the chamber president. So we're definitely going to taste some beer because that's his thing. But also study like the music scene, the arts,
right,
and really see what makes up a good quality downtown.
Yeah. That
people want to go and tourism, but also people that live there have, a culture to live within. And so I'm real excited about that because I'm going by myself.
Yeah.
No kids.
Right.
I'd love to take Hillary, but no kids is the key thing.
Right. Oh, that'll be fun. Like we did. Yeah. Fort Collins is actually, I think, an hour away from Laramie. So like,
really,
I may end up in Fort Collins too for like, the next day, like that Sunday, I'm heading back into Denver. But Fort Collins is a neat little town. They've got a neat like strip, kind of like downtown, where they have a lot of shops and restaurants and things, and a lot of trees. And of course, when you look off to the west, they have a pretty view. Obviously, right. It's pretty flat there in Fort Collins, but when you look out, you can see the Front Range and stuff. It's a neat little spot. But when we went that one time, it was on Father's Day. It was just a few years ago, but we did a tour of New Belgium Brewery.
That's what I was hoping to do.
And just check into it because I know when we did it, this was years ago, and of course before COVID and stuff. But we had to make reservations like 3 months out.
Yeah.
So there was like they opened up reservations exactly 3 months to the day that you're wanting to go. So I think we went in June, like the 16th or something on Father's Day. And so we had to book like April or something to get on the books. It was a neat tour though.
Right.
It was really fun. And then we went to Odell too. So those are the 2 that we hit up, I think, when we went that day.
Well, we're lucky. Well, one, I just have to pay the money, and then they book. For
oh, that's great.
Like the hotel and everything.
Itinerary,
I hope. I'll find out who I'm staying with. I hope I get a room to myself. I don't want someone hear my snoring and lose my clout.
That's always awkward.
But then we're partnering with, I'm assuming, their chamber, so that they're going to kind of connect us to, I would assume, the must-sees of Fort Collins.
Right.
And the goal is to educate ourselves on how they do what they do so that we can come back to Frisco,
right,
and hopefully utilize that as just kind of direction as, the Frisco Rail District's getting built out here. So, we'll see. I'm excited.
Get some nuggets.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate they can't just move some mountains out here to Frisco.
I know.
That's
trees and mountains.
That's the only thing.
Maybe a hill.
Some of those places have an advantage geographically because they're so beautiful. And you plop a town in there and you think it's really, really fun and cool just because it looks really neat outside too. But, that'll be a great little trip. So
totally random, but I know you and I both, I think you spend way more time on social media than I do because every time I pop on, I see your little green dot. So you must.
It may just be that I just forgot to log out or something.
But I know you are just immersed in like just what's going on, trends, and just all the stuff that's you follow. Is there anything you're digging right now that's just like totally random or content out there? I don't know, just like just kind of, is there something that you're gravitating towards right now?
Wow. That's a tricky question. I mean, a lot of this, you say that, and I was actually on Instagram last night, and I was kind of filtering through some of my people I was following and stuff. I'm like, this business isn't even in business anymore. Right. Why am I following them? This person here, they don't even do what they used to do that I liked, so I was unfollowing some folks and stuff. But of course, I love following artists and kind of just watching what people are creating. I have a good group of artists and things I like to follow. My friend Bryce McCaslin, he's been doing some really fun, like cool art shows, throughout the country. So it's been fun to follow him. So if you don't follow him, his name's Bryce McCaslin. He's an art teacher in Lovejoy, Texas, but he's a fantastic guy. I think he was from Lubbock, and then he's just got some really cool art. So I've been following him a lot. He's got some neat kind of new stuff that he's been doing. That's one thing. I think the algorithm has caught up with me also because I've been getting a lot of like pickleball stuff because I started kind of playing that over the last year. So I guess with some searches that I've done, they've found me finally. So I get a lot of pickleball videos and how-tos and do's and don'ts and tricks and all that kind of stuff. So that's always been kind of fun. There's certain things that I kind of watch with that. What else? Pickleball, my artists that I follow. I don't know. Of course, I'm into the thrifting and the resale stuff too. So I get a lot of that in my feed, reselling items that you find at thrift stores or at garage sales and things.
It must be why it's in my feed. It must be somewhat tailored or connected through our business account.
Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of that
I very rarely search on our business account. So if I don't get on the business account and do much like scrolling or certain.
Right.
Usually it's on my personal one. So, but yeah, I do have a good thrifting story though. I don't know if you've ever seen those like half helmets, like the Rydell helmets or like the helmet plaques, like from the 70s. My buddy Tommy, he's actually a former student of mine. He found on Facebook Marketplace someone was selling all 26 of them from 1970.
Oh, wow.
And he texts me and he's like, check this out. He's like, all 26 teams. And he's like, for $600. He's like, there's no way I'm going to pay $600 for those. And I texted him back. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you can sell those for between $150 and $200 each.
Wow.
And he's like, oh. And so then
bought 'em?
Before I know it, he's like, shows me a picture like the back of his car and he's got all of them back there.
Awesome.
I'm like, dude, just give me the Oiler one. But I think he's
cool.
going to sell that because that might be a popular one. But yeah, that's a good reselling story. I probably should have just slipped in there and said, it's not worth $600 and went and bought them myself. But I told Carrie, I go, if I bought those, unfortunately, I'd have a hard time getting rid of them because it's such a cool collection. Cool. Like I would have probably like wanted to hang them up, and so I'd have been out $600.
From what year were they?
They're like from 1970.
Okay.
So like the Redskin logo had the circle with the R
cool.
with the little. I mean, it was the old school, and the Oilers helmet was silver.
That's cool.
And they're cool.
What about the Broncos helmet? Was that kind of like the?
It's the orange one, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's like an era of some of the cool designs.
Yeah, they were really fun and cool. So yeah, if you get on eBay and you search up helmet plaques, he may be trying to flip those. But anyway, that just came to mind because that just happened a few days ago.
Yeah. Well, my feed is typically business, like Gary Vee or who knows, whatever person I follow, the business tips. What's really in my algorithms is like logo design. I guess I click on just cool logos like FedEx and like where there's like secrets with the logos.
Yeah, right.
A lot of comedians like spoofs or people doing tricks on each other, like just pranks. And so it's funny. I'm just sitting there. That's where I get my comedy, I guess, like where I want to just tune out of the world and watch some stuff. Right. But it's funny. The one I really like, it's weird, I know. I'm such a woman, but it's Costco finds. There's an account where this person goes into Costco and it shows you all the good deals that they have.
Okay.
And they also will show you like how you can resell it for more. So like you go in there, like Carhartt had T-shirts on for $10.
Right.
So you can go in there and buy them up and put them on eBay or Amazon and sell them for more.
Okay.
And so I don't ever do it. I'm not like you. I just watch it. I don't actually flip anything.
Yeah.
But it is amazing how the algorithm works. And once it figures out what you like, how it just keeps on bringing you more information.
Yeah, it's kind of scary for sure, but it does send me some stuff that I want to see that I maybe wouldn't find otherwise. But then I don't like when it says this is suggested for you, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with anything I'm interested in. I don't care about how to knit a sweater.
They put teasers out there to see what bait you might click.
I always just click and say not interested. So
I think it's crazy though the way Meta is kind of taken over with Facebook. Because now between that and Instagram, they have like Threads, which is kind of taken over.
That's the Twitter killer, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
I still haven't quite figured it out.
Yeah.
I joined pretty early on just because I'm like, well, I already have an Instagram account. It says join Threads. You just click a button and it's kind of like Twitter. But then I got on Threads and I was like, okay. So it automatically followed all the people that I follow on Instagram.
Right.
And I told Carrie, I'm like, I don't really want to know what a lot of the people on Instagram are like, quote unquote, threading or tweeting.
Yeah.
Like I have my whole Twitter set up for like, it's so curated. Like I follow all the people I want to actually hear from.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, Twitter. I'm like, I love Twitter. It's so great. But I follow people that I want to hear from.
Yeah.
On Instagram, it like automatically followed everyone on Instagram. And most of the people I follow on Instagram is because I want to see visuals. I want to see the art. I want to see something visually. That's what I feel Instagram is. It's more visuals.
Right. Well, it's almost like Meta is the one that's bringing this all to like the forefront with Facebook. There's also guides as well. I don't know if you've seen the guides button yet on Instagram, but to me it's a lot more like Pinterest because you can create collections of things.
Okay.
And you can go to other people's, like you're creating like a collection or guide of. You can go to other feeds and add that to your little guide. So like Tumbleweed Textiles could take stuff from you, from me, stories, posts, and put it into that collection. So it's almost like they're trying to take over like Twitter, Pinterest, a little bit of everything.
Interesting.
And to me, it's almost getting like too much. Like I'm overly stimulated of information.
Well, that's it. I got on Threads. I'm like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to put what I would tweet on here, and then I have it on, and then if I tweet it, do I need to get on Threads and thread it?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. So that might be another place I might have to, because if it's a cool artist, and I like looking at their pictures on Instagram, I don't really want to know what their inner thoughts are, like just random stuff about some meal that they ate. I don't care about that. I just want to see your artwork, and I don't even know who you are.
Right.
So anyway.
I feel
That's my rant. That's my rant on Threads. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm on there. You can follow me at Junkie Trinket. I don't know if I'll do much on there, but I'm there.
Well,
for the fun.
I think time's coming close to an end. I
don't know if we got much accomplished. But
no,
we just kind of shoot the bull
why
a little
not?
bit.
Just chit chat a little bit. Just real quickly though, as you look ahead, any last, I know as a teacher, you're in your summer, it's fun. Obviously, you do a lot of traveling. Anything you're excited about returning back to school for?
This is gonna be a different year for me. A couple things. 2 coworkers that I work really closely with that teach the same subject that I do, that I've known. One of them for like 12 years that's taught right next door to me. Yeah. He got a new job, so he's leaving to go to another high school here in the district. Fred, he's been on one of our podcasts. He's one of our designers as well. So I'm going to miss Fred. It's going to be weird not having him next door.
Yeah.
Another thing at our school, we're getting new furniture.
What?
I know. It's the furniture refresh. And so we're going to get new furniture. And so I'm a little hesitant of like what that's going to look like, because before I had my desk all organized the way I had, like a big old desk, had it all organized. And I'm a stacker too. I like to stack stuff on it. And I had my computer desk. I had everything laid out. I've had it the same way for 15 or 16 years in that room. And all that's going away, so I don't really know what I'm coming into. They're making it sound like these teacher desks are going to be really small. And so I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to manage that. So I'm a little anxious about that, to see what that's going to look like.
I drive by Liberty every day, and I see them putting on a new roof and taking care of all the building. It's a new little refresh.
And that's my son's summer job. He's actually one of the furniture guys. So they're the ones that break the furniture down and then deliver all the stuff.
So he can tell you.
So he was at Liberty yesterday. I'm like, hey, did they do anything with my room? He's like, no, we weren't doing new furniture yet. We were just breaking down some old stuff still. I'm like, you tell me when they get in my room, and you make sure you hook me up, give me the good stuff. He's like, Dad, I can't do that. I just gotta give you what they say you're gonna get. So anyway, we'll see. So new furniture and some new coworkers that I don't know yet. So that should be an interesting twist on a new year. But I'm always excited. It seems like when the school year starts, I'm ready to go. So it'll be a good, good new group of kids.
I love it. The only thing I don't like is all the school zones on the way to work.
Yeah, traffic definitely picks up in this town for sure. I don't know about you guys in your hometowns, but Frisco schools go into session. It's like a whole new ball game.
We're ready. My wife, more than me, she's ready to get those kids in school.
Oh yeah,
get her life back.
That's like when our kids were younger too. We just couldn't wait for the school to open. Yeah, like oh my gosh, go
for sure. Well, hopefully y'all have enjoyed getting a little taste of the summer life of Jeb and myself. And, if you haven't already, we have many podcast episodes about business and design, just small talk with some of our friends, interviews. But as Jeb said, check them out on Junkie Trinket or Jebediah Texan. Is that right?
Jebediah
Texan. Is that, or Texas?
Texan with the N.
Okay. All right. So check him out. He's a lot more interesting to follow than myself because he puts some funny stuff out there on Twitter. I love following your tweets. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. We wish you all the best. Have a great day.
All right. See you guys.